Hello everyone, Nice Link here with my yearly prediction video for Nintendo's E3 press conference. This year is going to be a little bit different as I have a guest. He used to be an admin on the Facebook page and he's been a long-time friend of mine. Um, Everyone say hello to Xhinope.
Hello, I'm Xhinope. It's nice to meet you all.
Xenope, we're going to talk about the what we think is going to happen tomorrow during the E3 press conference for Nintendo. Give some of our insight and opinions and yada yada. So let's first talk about what we know. We know Metroid Prime 4 is a thing. We know
Yes.
that Super Smash Brothers for Switch is a thing. We know Fire
hmm
Emblem. We know about the untitled Yoshi game for the Switch.
hmm
Which, if not all of these things, do you think we will see tomorrow?
Well, I'm 100% positive about Smash Brothers. That I feel is a game that, we already know it's going to be playable because they're going to be hosting a tournament,
Yeah.
and that just it makes too much sense for them to announce more things about it before the tournament. I'm guessing at least one or two characters, maybe more.
Yeah, that's very possible. Smash is pretty much guaranteed with the tournament going on. So, yeah, we're definitely
hmm
going to get information on that. And plus, it releases in like a few months.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, we're
There's no way they're
definitely.
going to just sit there and let us not know anything about this.
Now, what about? I'm pretty much giving that a 100%.
hmm
That's going to be there. Now, what about Metroid Prime 4? Many of you remember last year's E3, we ended the E3 stream. I think it was at the end. It might have been towards the end that we got that teaser with the Metroid Prime 4 logo. Do you think we will actually see gameplay and footage of that game in this Nintendo Direct?
I feel we'll see a little bit. I don't think there's going to be much. I don't think we're going to see gameplay. I think we'll see cutscene trailer, but I think that's going to be everything.
I think we're going to see a lot because it's been a full year, and good lord, who knows how long they've been working on it before we saw the teaser. So they've had a
Actually,
good year to put together a lot. I think we're going to see quite a
hang on,
bit
give me a
in.
second.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My grandpa's hollering at me.
I'll
I
just.
know you don't want to ruin your recording stuff, but I do apologize. This is
Oh
going to
no,
have
it's
to
fine.
happen.
I can continue to talk about this while you're away. I'll talk about it with people here. Um, so basically, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be seen tomorrow. I think that we will see full gameplay, full trailer, full everything. I think they will actually be playing this in the treehouse. I think we will get a release date. This is definitely 100% happening, and that will be great. And when Xeno comes back, we'll discuss this a little bit more. Let me know in the comments section about what you guys think about Metroid Prime 4. Do you guys think that it will be seen? Do you guys think that it will be on the showcase floor? Do you think it will be in the treehouse? Do you think we will get a release date? And the same for Smash. Maybe list your predictions for Smash characters. What kind of new characters do you want to see? What do you think will be announced? This is a big event. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some new characters announced that we've never seen in Smash before. With Crash coming to the Switch, maybe Crash Bandicoot is a thing. Maybe Nintendo will get the Spyro trilogy, and maybe Spyro will be a new unlockable character for the games. There's many possibilities. Solaire from Dark Souls. I mean, he's getting an amiibo, so that could be.
Solaire in Smash would be amazing.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yes, and welcome back. As I was telling the fans, I think that we'll see everything Metroid Prime 4 tomorrow. Maybe even a release date. Maybe not. Definitely a window frame for release. Um,
Maybe.
And then going back to the four games I mentioned earlier, another one I mentioned was we've seen what looked like beta footage a while back of the next Yoshi title. Do you think we will see that tomorrow?
I think so. I've got about a, I think about an 80% confidence that we're going to see more Yoshi tomorrow. Um, I just feel like we saw enough last year that I thought we would have seen more by now.
Yeah,
And the fact that we haven't seen anything since E3, as far as I can remember,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing more.
Yeah, I think I'm with you about 85% here on seeing that. I could actually see that being released like as soon as August. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a major title. It's not something they're going to haul off for the holiday or anything. So I could see that releasing within like a month or two, maybe if
Yeah,
not sooner.
yeah.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like with if you remember they did this with Yoshi's Woolly World. They showed that thing in a Nintendo Direct and then just went silent on it forever.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, here it is. And that's kind of like how this has went too, which is kind of
That
funny.
that is kind of how this is feeling right now.
Yeah, we got a very so hopefully just like Woolly World, it'll be fun, cute, and adorable, and fun to play. Um,
Hopefully.
excuse me. What was the fourth game I mentioned earlier?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. No, I think that's definitely being seen today. It's been we've known about this for 2 years.
I've yeah, we've known that it exists for a while. They've shown us nothing. They've claimed that it's coming out in 2018, and we still know nothing about the game. Do we even know a title for this game apart from Fire Emblem Switch?
No, I believe that's the only information that we have is that there is a Fire Emblem game and it's coming to the Switch. Yeah, I definitely think we'll see a lot on Fire Emblem today. I think that it's right up
Smart.
there with all the other three. It's about an 85-90% chance that we're going to see that today.
Yeah, I'm like about 90% certain that we're going to see something about it. I'm looking on the website right now, and it's still listed as a 2018 release date. With
I can actually see that being pushed to 2019.
you think so?
I think so. I just have a feeling because they're going to make that as big and as that seems to be the thing with like the Nintendo AAA titles these days for Switch is making them as big and expansive as possible. We saw it with Breath of the Wild, we saw it with Super Mario Odyssey.
That is true. That is true.
So they're going to make this is going to be like to follow along with those. This will probably be like the biggest Fire Emblem, and it'll be awesome and beautiful and amazing. So
Probably.
very anxious to see what they have planned for the future of that
I would not.
franchise.
I would not be surprised to see a 2019 pushback.
Yeah, I could see like
Although,
maybe spring 2019, something like that.
yeah. Although, as has been noted online in the past, so far with the Switch, Nintendo has yet to directly announce uh, a delay in a game.
That's pretty impressive
Ev-
considering the era we live in.
yeah, every single one of their games, even the ones that we were pretty sure were gonna be delayed,
Yeah.
they came out on the day that or during the time frame that they said they would.
Well, that does give a lot of hope then.
Namely, I was almost positive that Xenoblade 2 was going to be delayed till sometime spring 2018 at the earliest.
Yeah.
That still came out in December of 2017.
That definitely would make them look very good. Considering all the
So,
delays in, games like Kingdom Hearts and other AAA titles that people have been patiently waiting on for seemingly forever.
yes.
Okay, so let's move on to existing games. DLC and add-ons. I can see some DLC being added for Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of surprised that there's been nothing for Super Mario Odyssey as far as like major DLC announced already.
Yeah, I think pretty much all we've gotten are new costumes and that Luigi balloon thing. I've yet to play that, by
Yeah,
the way.
and all of that was, as far as I remember, all of it was free, and I'm grateful for it. But it would not surprise me at all If they're like, oh, by the way, Super Mario Sunshine DLC for like
It's on the
$10.
map. Island Delfino's on the Odyssey map. It's in the game. Come on, Nintendo, quit teasing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see Super Mario Odyssey DLC. Do you think there's any chance that we get any more Breath of the Wild DLC, or do you think they're moving on to the possible next title?
Um,
I
as
know
much
that
as
they
I
mentioned
enjoy,
recently online that they are starting development on the next Zelda game.
they did. They
Yeah.
did. As much as I am enjoying Breath of the Wild or loved Breath of the Wild, I don't know that I would want them to have more DLC for the game.
Okay.
Just because I kind of feel like that game has enough to do already.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it is a very large world. The world is packed as it is. I don't really see the need to introduce like a new zone or new areas or anything.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, the whole motorcycle thing was a good way to kind of put the
Mm,
cap on all of the DLC for that game. What I
yeah,
do see, I know a lot of people, because, this, is in essence a Legend of Zelda based channel. So I know a lot of people are going to want us to talk about Zelda, so let's go ahead and do that. I do see something Zelda announced today.
yeah,
I think that, there's been a rumor going on for about a year now that they're working on another Zelda remake. And I think, this is personally just my opinion, with all of the attention being brought back to the original NES game, I can see Nintendo doing something with that.
maybe. I know a lot of people are speculating a remake of Skyward Sword.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Uh, which would be interesting, although difficult to do considering the. I mean, I know there is the IR in the right Joy-Con,
yeah.
but it's at the bottom of the Joy-Con, and it makes it hard to do the motion sensor. So, like, I'm
You'd
not saying it's
basically have
not.
to retool the entire game.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it would be a lot more difficult to re-release Skyward Sword.
I've often said that if they're going to redo Skyward Sword, then just rebuild the game from the ground up, give it new controls,
Yeah.
edit out a lot of the cutscenes, pretty up the graphics, and just rebuild the game. Like, just instead of a remake, just do a reimagining. Like, just make it
Mhm.
from scratch. Don't build off the old engine or anything. Just redo it.
Though redoing Zelda 1, I would actually be kind of okay with that. Bring
Yeah,
it bring it into the modern era.
yeah. Like maybe give it a link to Between Worlds graphics or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. Would you want them to make it a bit easier in a way with like more
No,
obvious secrets
no,
or
no, don't. That
no?
basically the thing about the original Zelda. I have the fortune of growing up with that game.
Hmm.
It was one of my first true video games that I played as a kid. And the beauty about The Legend of Zelda is it did not hold your hand whatsoever. Sure, there were hints given you by NPCs throughout the game, but they were very few and far between and very, very vague. And the fun thing about Zelda 1 is, talking to your buddy and be like, hey, I found a dungeon. You go to this lake in the forest and you play the recorder and bada boom, there it is. That's the beauty of it. I don't want them to hold my hand through Zelda 1 because it's not a long game to begin with. It's
Hmm.
not, this gigantic, A Link to the Past was like double the size of that. And then games
Yeah.
since then are triple, quadruple the size of that. They just get
Hmm.
bigger and better. And if they're going to do anything with this, maybe add another area to it and make it a little bigger. Because most people at this point have played through it several times.
Hmm.
And, it's just,
I haven't, but
well, you need to.
I do. I didn't say that I don't. I just haven't.
But most people have, and add some stuff to it. Add maybe a dungeon or two. Add another area. Maybe throw in another couple items. Give it
Yeah.
like I said, a link between worlds graphics would be great.
For sure. For sure.
But, I could see them announcing a Zelda 1 remake or some kind of remake. Something Zelda will probably be announced.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little too early to be announcing a brand new 3D Zelda title at the
Oh
very
yeah, it's
least.
way too
I
early.
could see them I could see them doing either a remake or maybe a new 2D title.
Yeah, I'd be down with
So
that. Yeah.
though there is a way they can do both.
You talking about a link to the past?
Oh no. I'm talking remake the Oracle games and finally give us the third Oracle game that was originally planned but unavailable due to technical limitations of the Game Boy Color.
That would be really really great.
I would love that.
It would be really cool.
Be it
Okay,
be it
so
released be it released all separately, or they could even do like a Oracle trilogy and put all three onto like one cart and allow you to like transfer files from that same cartridge to the other games. And I think that would be great.
that would be very interesting for sure.
Mhm.
So moving on, we've covered what we know. We've covered the games that we've heard about in the past. We've covered possible DLC. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, and let's start to give our predictions. We'll
Ugh,
alternate one at a time. I'll give one, you give one. We'll go like that, and I'll start.
works for me.
My biggest prediction for this is they're going to announce Mario Maker for the Switch. And by Mario Maker for the Switch, I think it'll be a port of the Wii U version of the game with added content. A ton of added content. I could see them adding Super Mario Brothers 2 USA sprites and
See
levels.
that?
I could see them. I could see like a Cappy somehow maybe being involved in some way or something.
Ooh.
There'll be some kind of Mario Odyssey themed content for it. Yeah, they'll do like a big old deluxe edition. Just add a bunch of stuff to it. That's the big one for me.
Quite possibly, quite possibly. Um, to be honest, I know that a lot of people are wanting Super Mario Maker on Switch, and as much as I would love it, I personally don't think it's gonna happen.
Why's that?
I like just the 3DS version, like just recently came out, I believe last year.
Yeah, I
And
don't
yeah,
think
I
it
know
sold
it.
well.
What's that?
I don't think it sold well
It didn't. I don't
because
think it
it
sold very well
basically
for
they
3DS.
eliminated the main function of the game, and that's being able to play other people's levels and let other people play yours. That's the big selling point
Yeah.
of the game. And without
That
that, and
being
then
said,
we lost Miiverse, and now you can't play other people's games on the Wii U one either.
no.
So
That
that's
that
why I think they'll re-release it on the Switch because people still want to do that. There's still a
that being
large
said
community
though,
out there for this.
I don't think they're going to re-release Super Mario Maker on Switch. I think they're going to give us most of the same stuff, but give us enough extra content to warrant adding the two to the end of it. I think it will be
Just
they
a
will give us
sequel.
a Super Mario Maker 2 and not limit us to 2D levels, but also give us the option of doing 3D land style levels.
That would be very interesting. I don't know if
I
they'll
would
go the
absolutely love
3D
that.
land route though. I really don't know about that.
I know the 3D land and 3D world games weren't super popular.
I think 3D
Like
World sold pretty well.
they sold well, don't get me wrong, but they weren't like the games that when you think of Mario, they're not going to be the first games that you think of.
Oh no, of course
when you
not.
think of 3D Mario games, for
Oh,
sure.
definitely not. I don't even consider them 3D games. They're more like 2.5D.
But I
Um,
feel like if they were gonna bring 3D
and we got a
to,
choo-choo train.
that was
It
a choo-choo train.
was a choo-choo train. So go ahead and tell us what since you kind of added on to the Mario thing there. Go ahead and give your first prediction for the conference.
Alrighty, my first prediction. Um, you know, I I know everybody has been wanting a like some sort of Mother 3 thing. I think my first prediction is gonna be have to be a downer and say they're not gonna mention anything Mother related whatsoever. They're just gonna completely ignore it
Yeah,
again.
I think so. At this point, I don't even think we're ever going to see that.
In all honesty, like the past few years, I've been like, oh, like last year Nintendo has like discussed or mentions the Mother series in some way with either having released Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U Virtual Console, or that skit when they with the robot chicken style thing where they're like, "Give us Mother 3," and I
I
was
think
like, "Oh
the
man,
the thing
they're acknowledging Mother fans. They have to give us Mother 3 now."
I don't think
And
what the Mother fans realize is I don't think they realize that their fan base is as big. It's not as big as they think it is, and
probably not.
Nintendo knows that.
Yeah,
They pay people to research this kind of stuff, and it's nowhere the size of the Mario, Zelda, or even Fire Emblem fan bases. I'll even say Donkey Kong probably has a bigger fan base
admittedly, Fire Emblem wasn't the biggest of fan base either
until
until we
recently.
got like a good Fire Emblem game, and then suddenly it blew up.
I think Smash helped it a lot too.
It did, and Smash has helped the Mother series.
Yeah,
I feel like if Nintendo were to release Mother 3 in America, it would probably explode, similar to how Fire Emblem exploded when Awakening was released.
it's very possible. It's definitely something to keep our eye on, but like I said, it's like a
Yeah,
0.001% for me to
I
ever see
I'm
that.
not seeing it happening anymore.
All right, my next prediction is we keep hearing about Retro's next title,
Hmm.
and I feel like it's like every like 3 or 4 months we have another rumor. We've heard, oh, they're designing a Metroid game, which we know they're not making Metroid Prime 4, so, scratch that off the list. That's been confirmed by Retro themselves. They are not the ones doing it. Unless they are absolutely pulling a troll on us, which I don't think they are.
I don't think they would troll us that hard.
No. They've also mentioned, there's also been rumor of Donkey Kong Country Returns 3. There's been this rumor lately that it's a Star Fox racing game. Lord, I hope not. I am totally over Star Fox as a franchise at this point. I truly think Nintendo has run out of ideas with it. If they're ever going to make a Star Fox game, give it to a completely different group of people. Fresh
Yeah,
eyes, like it's just how many more retoolings and remakes of Star Fox 64 can we have before everybody just quits buying these games? And a Star Fox racing game is probably one of the worst decisions you can make right now because after the failure of Star Fox Zero, I feel like this would be the worst time to try to throw a spin-off game at us. There's still a very bad taste in a lot of people's mouth with that game, with that series, and it's not the highest-selling series to begin with. I
no,
think it. I think their next game is Donkey Kong Country Returns 3. I really do. I mean, yes, I know they just ported 2 over to the Switch, but I don't think that's
yeah,
going to matter. I mean, it's just a port. You can put one of those out pretty quick. So it's not really going to be a burden on their team to develop anything there. I mean, the only thing they developed for that game was Funky Kong. So,
hmm,
it was easy mode pretty much. It's not like they went
yeah.
out and made a bunch of new levels or anything for it. So I think it'll be the next Donkey Kong Country Returns game. I think it'll be the penultimate. And I think we will see the return of King K. Rool and the Kremlings, and I think that will couple with King K. Rool being announced for Smash.
I feel like this is all very wild speculation.
It
As much
might
as I
be. It might
want
be. That's what we're here
all
for.
of that to be the case.
I really think they're going to. King K. Rool was one of the highest vote getters in that Smash bracket, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see Nintendo being like, okay, this got enough votes. Then I'm pretty sure people really want this.
Hmm.
Let's go ahead and give them what they want. No, hey, let's bring back the Kremlings for part three. The what I assume will be the final installment of the Return series before they
That
move
at
on to
least,
something else.
at least for now, it'll probably it'll get the Metroid Prime treatment where 10 years down the line, people are going to be like, "Why haven't we seen Donkey Kong Country in forever?" And then you're going to get a one screenshot that just says Donkey Kong Country Returns 4,
Yeah,
and everybody's going to go ape shit.
yeah, we'll get all the videos of people's faces going
Pardon
crazy.
the language.
Oh no, it's fine. We cuss here. People have
Okay,
watched my Let's Plays and heard me rage before.
okay.
Yeah, that's my second one. So what's your next one?
Um, my next one, I feel like we're going to see gameplay of Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, I could see that.
I wouldn't. I mean, I kind of would be to an extent, but I also would love it if they announced a demo for Shin Megami Tensei 5 within a couple of months. Probably not available tomorrow, but within by August timeframe, have a small, maybe 1 hour demo that allows people to kind of get their feet wet who maybe haven't played the Shin Megami Tensei series before.
Yeah, it's kind of this weird thing. Like it has a fan base, but it's not like and it has tons of games, but it's
Hmm.
not like this gigantic fan base with like millions and millions of people like some other titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, a free demo would be a really good way to for people to kind of dip their toes in the water, so to speak.
Yeah, I feel like Shin Megami Tensei 4 should have had one. Maybe getting you through to up to where the first boss is.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been enough for people to be like, okay, this could be interesting. I can kind of go more with this. But there wasn't anything like that, so we just never got anything.
Right. My third prediction, and this one it might be kind of obvious in a way, but maybe not. I don't know. I think Nintendo is going to launch a brand new line of amiibo for Smash, and it's going to be like they're going to start all over, which RIP wallets everywhere because good lord,
Oh yeah,
I have so many of these darn things. They're going to
I
bring that back for this Smash. They're probably going to do that again, where you scan the amiibo in and train it. And
quite likely, especially because it's been widely speculated that a lot of characters are going to have changed up move sets. A lot of people are anticipating Cappy to be brought into Mario's move
that'd
set.
be awesome.
I would love that. A lot of people are anticipating a change to Link's move set with his Champions Edition, which I would be perfectly okay with.
Oh yeah, same with Princess Zelda.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely see a new line of amiibo being announced. Which, good lord, honestly, with me this time, last time I bought every single Smash amiibo.
Hmm.
I think there might be like one or two I don't have, but I pretty much have them all. I don't have Robin. I think it's the one I don't have. I think they're going to do that again. And this time, just for me personally, I think I'm just going to limit myself to Zelda and Metroid ones. I'm not going to get every single. Plus, I'm running out of room for these things. Half of them are sitting in a basket right now. After I
I
moved,
have a couple of friends who own all of them and would 100% buy all of the new ones if they were to announce new ones for Smash 5.
yeah, I don't know if I can justify it.
I never. really got into the amiibo hype. Personally, I understand why a lot of people did. I just never did myself. It's probably mostly because I have like no shelf space to put any of them anyways.
I have I am pretty close to running out of any kind of shelf space.
Hmm.
I've been in that boat for a while. Even before the move and stuff, I was kind of running out of places to stick things. But I'll definitely get the Zelda ones because I'm a Zelda collector and it's my favorite. And Metroid's like my close second. So if
Yeah,
they
that's fair.
issue any Samus stuff, I'll
Hmm.
grab that. So,
My my next prediction, and this one might be a little bit of a stretch, but I would love this. I think that From Software will finally give us a release date for the Switch version of Dark Souls 1 HD remastered that
oh
was
yeah, yeah, I
delayed
definitely
from
think
last
that's
month.
coming.
I think it is going to come by the end of this month.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being
I,
very soon.
in fact, I doubt this, but I would love to see it on Switches by the end of the week.
I don't know if it'll be that quick, but I could definitely see it by July
That's
1st.
that's a bit of a stretch, but I would love to see it happen.
Yeah, I could definitely see it at least by July 1st. I definitely can see that. My next one, um, we know about the Spyro trilogy for PlayStation and Xbox. I think it gets announced for Switch.
You think it'll be announced for Switch?
But I think like the Crash thing, it's going to come like later, which that's fine. That's I've never been a stickler for everything should be released at once. It's not fair. Blah 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 blah. I think it'll come a little later, but I think it's coming.
Okay.
There,
Yeah.
who makes Spyro? Is that Capcom?
The original series
I'm
was
talking
made
about
by
now.
Insomniac.
No, I'm talking about now.
I'm not sure who owns the rights to Spyro right now. Hang on, let me look this up real quick.
Yeah, do that because I know there's been a few companies. I know Square Enix is one. Capcom is another that said that they have multiple titles coming out for the Switch, and I think we'll see a lot of both of those tomorrow.
Hmm. Let's see here. Current developer is Toys for Bob Games.
Who's the
Published
publisher?
by Activision though.
Activision.
Yeah,
Yeah,
published
I
by
could still
Activision.
see it. I don't know what their stance is on the Switch. I don't really follow Activision very closely.
Neither
But
do
I
I.
could definitely see, with Crash coming out on the Switch, I could see this coming too. And I could
I
see Nintendo enticing both of them to bring their games over by Spyro and Crash being in Smash.
I would love to see that.
I think anybody would. And I think it's
Yeah,
very, very likely because now, the big thing, yeah, we saw Snake in the GameCube game, or the Wii game.
the Wii one. Yeah, no, he was in Brawl, not
Yeah, my
Melee.
bad. I get the two flips sometimes in my mind. But Smash 4 was like the first true game where we saw like a ton of third party characters in the game. Like, we had
Yeah.
Cloud, there was Bayonetta, which
Hmm.
technically she's Nintendo, but she's technically not.
I mean, she's Nintendo now. She wasn't
Yeah,
though.
I mean, she's exclusive to Nintendo, but it's still Platinum Games.
Yeah, it's owned by Platinum, but like she. I mean,
I mean, she's
I think
still
at
a
this
third
point,
party.
yeah.
But there was like there was a lot more third party. Ryu from Street Fighter was another one.
Hmm.
And I feel like in this one and coming up, I think there's going to be even more third party. I could see there being like 10 to 15 third party characters in this game. Like it's eventually going to come to the point with Smash where it's just going to be like an all star of video games. No
Yeah.
disrespect to Sony All Stars.
It'll be All Star Battle Royale, but actually good.
Yes.
Full disrespect to Sony Battle All Stars.
But I definitely see Spyro trilogy coming to the Switch. And
Same.
Spyro games have a history on the Nintendo consoles. There was games on both the Wii and the GameCube and the GBA. So it's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there. It's definitely a precedence for it.
It'll happen. It'll happen. It's a matter of when.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, it may not be the same release date as the Xbox and Sony versions, but it's
Hmm.
going to come. What's your next one, if you have any more?
Ooh, I don't really have any like more predictions. I have a list of I have some wish list items, but I doubt they're gonna happen.
Yeah, that's
So it's
kind of
about
what I
me
wanted to segue into next. Is we both have our wild dream wish list. So I'll go ahead since I started the prediction side of this. I'll let you start with the your first wish list.
first wish list item would be a Ace Attorney release on Switch. Whether that's just one game or more likely the HD trilogy that's currently on 3DS. Either of them I would love to see. And being able to, I know there was the Wii version back a while ago, but like that one had like the borders on either side. Just bringing it to the Switch and having it in like true widescreen, putting it on the TV, it would be absolutely gorgeous, and I would love to see that.
I
Don't
think
think it's
that's
gonna
real. I
happen.
think that's a realistic wish list item. I really do because you think about, okay, yeah, this has been primarily a handheld video game for so many years. Well, what is the Switch? It's a two-in-one. It's a home console slash handheld.
Mhm.
So I think
Absolutely.
it may not be at this E3. It could be at a future Nintendo Direct or next year's E3 or a
I
video game
foresee it
award announcement.
happening.
But I think one day you'll get your wish there.
I foresee it happening eventually. Just the more out there is that it's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is going to be a part of tomorrow's announcements.
My first wish list is, last year they gave us a Samus Returns, which is a remake of Metroid 2 for the Game Boy.
Hmm.
My wish list is for a 2D Metroid collection. Now, I
Ooh,
don't think they're going to announce this. I think
well,
they want all the attention on Metroid Prime 4.
yeah, for sure, for
But,
sure.
I could see this, like, possibly. Sometimes they like to drop stuff on us during the Treehouse. Last year it was Samus Returns, it was the Mario Party
Oh,
collection, and
oh, by the way,
yeah,
Metroid 2D.
yeah, like they announced like three or four games during the Treehouse last year, just nonchalantly, like, oh hey, it's like, oh here's Metroid, oh here's Mario Party Top 100, here's Mario and Luigi
Mhm.
remake, here's this, here's that.
Yeah,
I could see this being like a Treehouse thing where like, oh yeah, here's a collection of, we're just gonna port all, Metroid One, Metroid Two,
hmm,
Fusion, Zero Mission. Put all of these on a little collection, and I could see it even being released for both the Switch and the 3DS. I could see it,
hmm.
being on the on both consoles because both, all those games will run just fine on both of those. And collections tend to do well. We've seen Mega Man
Yeah,
collections and stuff like that.
for sure, for sure. So my next like big wish list item. Don't think this is gonna happen. I want to see Thousand Year Door put on Switch.
Yes, I'm with you
And
hundred
Paper Mario
percent.
and Paper Mario 64, but like if I could only have one, Thousand Year Door for sure.
Thousand Year Door may, next to Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, probably my favorite GameCube game. I
Yeah,
really, really love Thousand Year Door, and I'd
it
really
is
like to see that.
it is up there. It's really hard to determine a favorite GameCube game. There's a lot of good ones,
And
but
if
it
and I
is
feel like that
up
Miyamoto
there.
just kind of doesn't want to go back to that game style for Paper Mario. It's like we heard the story,
Yeah, we have.
when actually I heard this during both Sticker Star and Color Splash's uh, developments that they were both intended to be a traditional Paper Mario game, and
Yeah.
he saw what they were doing and be like, "No, we've done this." Blah blah. Typical Miyamoto. I love him. I respect him. He gave me
Yeah.
Mario, Zelda, etc. But there's these. It's like the whole. It all goes back to the GameCube with the whole Star Fox Dinosaur Planet thing. It's like sometimes maybe you shouldn't meddle.
Yeah. Although I don't know if you heard with Nintendo's newest or upcoming president. I don't know his name.
Yeah, he's a
Or
lot
if he's
younger guy.
Yeah, he's not like young, but he's younger than, I think he's the youngest president in Nintendo's history so
He
far.
definitely is.
Yeah, but he's actually gone on record saying, he's a huge fan of Miyamoto. He loves what he's done with the company, but he's also not afraid to let Miyamoto know, hey, I understand that you've done a lot for this company, but there are times when you're not always correct.
Yeah, that's
So,
definitely true. We've seen that. Like personally with Miyamoto, I kind of just wish he would stick with Pikmin. That seems to be like his. That's something we actually haven't mentioned. We know we got Hey Pikmin, but there's still, Pikmin 4 that's been rumored to be in development for a long time now.
it
I
has,
kind of want to backtrack for a minute back to our predictions. Do we see Pikmin 4 tomorrow?
mm, in all honesty, like, I feel like I don't remember what the actual, like, what Miyamoto's actual quote was, but I don't remember if he said Pikmin 4 is in development or the fourth Pikmin game is in development. Because if he said the fourth Pikmin game, he very well could have just been referring to Hey Pikmin as
I think I
the fourth
remember when
game.
they announced Hey Pikmin. I think they said at some point that it wasn't the next main Pikmin game. Like
Oh, they
there's
did?
still, I think so. Because
Okay, I don't
I
remember
remember
that.
when Hyrule Warriors came out. That was still when Zelda U quote unquote was still in development, and they
Oh,
actually came out and said then that, don't worry, this isn't. We know this is different, but this is not the new Zelda game that's coming out. For the Wii U, which ended up being Breath of the Wild. And I think they did kind of the same thing. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me on this. Um, but I'm pretty sure that they said that this wasn't the next mainstream title. This was just a spinoff. But I could be wrong.
I don't remember that article. I'm not going to say that you're wrong here. People, like you said, people in the comments can say whether that's right or not.
Yeah.
But I
Here's
mean, they
something I
might
want you to remember. Go back to, I think it was two E3s ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
All right. They had an interview with Reggie right after the Nintendo Direct. It was during the Treehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And something they asked him was, what's going on with Metroid and what's going on with, oh God, F Zero. That was the other one they brought up.
I do vaguely remember this, but keep going.
And something that Reggie said, and it's become halfway true now. He
Yeah.
said, "Wait till next year's E3 and come back to me." And since then, we have gotten two Metroid games announced. We have Metroid Prime announced, and we had the release of Samus Returns.
Yes.
But we haven't seen any F Zero. Will we see some F Zero tomorrow?
Yes, but
Remake.
I don't think it will be a traditional F-Zero racing game.
I think it'd be remake.
I think it could either be a remake of like one of the older games, which admittedly at this point they're all older games,
I say just
but
re-release the GameCube one. Just give it like
they
new
could
graphics.
they could get away with that so hard.
They
But
would.
no, anyway, I think they might try to rebrand Captain Falcon
Oh
as
no.
someone that isn't just a racer and give him like some sort of beat 'em up or fighting game
Oh God.
starring Captain Falcon as the main character.
I don't know. I don't think I don't foresee that.
Or
Um,
maybe a foot race. Okay, maybe I'm starting to go off back into wishlist territory.
a foot race.
You're just gonna have all of the classic F-Zero tracks, but you're not gonna be driving. You're gonna be running. All the
Oh
people around
boy.
you are gonna be driving, but you're gonna be running, and you have to beat them anyways.
Oh, we
You're
got us a
going like
comedian
maybe
here.
10 miles an hour.
All right, we got a comedian over here. Another wish list game that I have would be. I don't think. I don't know. This could happen. This I might move this over into predictions. Now earlier we mentioned, we were predicting a remake for Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna move this next one over to my predictions. I think we'll see a remake of Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures. Now,
You think
you
we're
and I
gonna
have
see both?
talked about this extensively many times in the past.
You think we're gonna see both?
Yeah, why not? Because Four Swords is kind of quick.
Yeah.
It's a small game. I could see them making that into like not the main part of the game, but just make it like a feature in the game.
Yeah, I guess. I guess make it like an optional mode within
Yeah.
like a Four Swords Adventures remake, and then like as an additional thing at the bottom, or like maybe as part of Tingle's Tower or something.
Yeah,
You can
or
also
they could
play the
also make
original Four
like
Swords.
back when they had the 3DS Ambassador program, bring in they could have the option to play one player for those who've
Yeah.
never played the game, and it's so hard to. It was so hard back in the day to find four friends with four game GBAs and four
Uh huh.
connector cords.
Yeah.
Especially where
I
I
never
live,
managed to
because
do
I
that.
live in like Charleston, West Virginia, and there's like nobody here that plays Zelda but me,
Yeah.
the lone Zelda representative of West Virginia. Um, I could definitely see that being a thing, and actually makes more sense than a lot of the other games being remade because where they're getting ready to launch their online services, how
Ooh.
badass would it be for you to be able to play Four Swords Triforce Hero style with your friends online?
I would love that on the caveat of it's still actually good in single player. That was
Well,
Triforce Heroes' biggest downfall was its single player aspect.
yeah.
And as long as single player was still good, I would eat that up. I would
Well, you're
pick
just
that up.
remaking Four Swords Adventures, and as you know, I've played that game single player probably
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 times, and I will say that that game is fantastic on your own. You
it
don't
is.
need to have 3 players to play that game.
It's an amazing game, even by yourself.
It's very underrated. I don't hear a lot of people giving heavy praise to it. I think a lot of people were put off because of the different mechanic. But
Mm-hmm.
anybody I know who's ever actually sat and played that game has absolutely adored it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely like Triforce Heroes. And another problem with Triforce Heroes is the 3DS online was just awful.
Yeah,
Like there was a couple times I tried to go online and play with people and would just get booted out.
yeah.
So with the the $20 a year plan coming up for the
Mm-hmm.
Switch, I can definitely see it being really really good, and that would be a really good launch title to go along with Smash for the
Yeah,
online stuff.
I'd love that. I think that'd be pretty great.
Yeah, I think it would be fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna slide that out of the wish list and into my predictions for sure. That's
You're gonna put that as an official prediction,
yeah, and
not
I'm
a
gonna
new
slide
Four
my
Swords
Zelda
game, but
One
a
remake
remake.
into the wish list category.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, switch those. Something we have not mentioned. We kind
Yep.
of, I guess, forgot. We haven't mentioned the 3DS.
I
And
wish I could say that was because the 3DS is more or less dead, but it's not.
yeah, they're still actively
They're
putting
still
games on this
actively
thing.
releasing games for it. They've said they have plans for games. Did they say through 2020 or through 2019?
I think it was 2019.
Okay. So, like, that's still another year and a half of 3DS games that they currently have planned. That who knows what else they'll think up during that time.
Well, good lord, look how many years they gave the Game Boy slash GBA. I mean, that was well over 10 years of
True.
support for those.
True.
So, it's not like Nintendo hasn't done this before. They love their handhelds. And, the
Maybe
DS and
that.
3DS kind of go hand in hand because DS games play on the 3DS. So the whole
True.
DS era has, when did the DS come out? 2006?
Something like that.
So we're going, about 8 years of that platform. So, I definitely, I'm fine with it as
2004.
long as there's good games. I don't care, like I love my
Yeah.
3DS.
Do you think they'll continue doing like remakes of games like they have been for a while now, or do you think they will
I really
release?
hope they kind of stop. Now, I know I've predicted a lot, and I've thrown stuff on my wish list. Wish list. Spit it out there, Andy. Um, but I kind of like with the 3DS and even the Switch, there's been a lot of porting of Wii U games. Now, if it's a remake of an old game, like, we mentioned Four Swords, Thousand Year Door, and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's one
Those
thing. Those
those
games
I'm
are older, and not
mostly
everybody
okay
owns a
with. Yeah.
GameCube anymore or an N64 or whatever. But I feel like, okay, I think we've met our quota on porting things from the Wii U. Now I know there's great games on there that didn't sell well because it was on the Wii U and the Wii U didn't do
Yeah.
good, and they're just really wanting people to play these games and give these games the
Mm-hmm.
praise they deserve. I get that. I understand. But I'm also speaking from somebody who bought like every Wii U game, like at release. Like I loved the Wii U. I'm the first to admit that
Yeah.
yes, it didn't sell well. The marketing was stupid. The name was stupid,
It
and
was a good console, just
yeah,
very poorly executed.
yeah, it was a terrific console, terrific idea. The gamepad was amazing. I love the gamepad, and I still play games on my Wii U to this day. And there's still games I want to get for it that I haven't got yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, it is what it is with the Wii U, and I get why Nintendo wants to re-release these games. It wouldn't shock me if Super Mario 3D World got ported over to the Switch. It wouldn't shock me if other games did. Pikmin 3, it wouldn't shock me at all.
No.
But, from someone who's already played these games, I just want to see new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
You,
I can see it.
if they're going to do, it's the question of, there's a lot of questions that go in my head for the Switch. It's like, what's the next step for 2D Mario games? We've pretty much wrote out the new Super Mario Brothers franchise, I think, as far as we can. You know,
I hope so.
they're all good games. It
They're
started on the
they're all
3DS.
terrific games.
Yeah, they started on the 3DS, and it was a great nostalgia trip. And like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, Mario's in 2D again after all these years. Awesome. And then, cool, they put it on the Wii U. I can play it on the big screen TV now,
Mm-hmm.
like I did when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
then there came New Super Mario Brothers 2, which is very, not a
Mm-hmm.
bad game, but it's very forgettable. Um,
Yeah. It's probably the weakest entry in the new series.
Definitely is. And then New Super Mario Brothers U came out, and it might actually be the best one in the series. But if they
Yeah.
also would have said, "Hey, we're putting out DLC for the one on the Wii, and this is it," I would have been like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then of course we
Yeah.
got Luigi U as well, and
Mm-hmm.
which essentially was DLC, but they made a physical copy of for some reason, and my puppet ass bought it. Because I'm such a fanboy for Nintendo, I had to buy everything they put out.
Again, they were good. Just yeah.
Yeah,
I can.
it's just we're really. What else can you do with that? Like I'm not going to mention any names just out of respect, but mutual friend of ours has a great idea. Is hand the 2D Mario series over to Retro and
Ooh.
let them, because you play the Donkey Kong Country Returns games like I do, and those levels,
Mhm.
like each level feels different.
Yeah.
It has an identity. Where with Mario levels, it's like you have Sand World, Water
Yeah.
World, Cake World. It's just like these different tropes that are used over and over and over again. But you have the worlds in Donkey Kong too, but each level has a different thing going. Like in this level, you're in a cart and you're being chased by a giant buzzsaw.
Yeah.
It's like I want to see that in Mario. That would be dope.
That would be pretty great.
Yeah, it needs an overhaul if they're going to continue it.
For sure. For sure.
Either that or just maybe put it on a break like they did before, and
Yeah.
hit up the nostalgia trip, 10 years from now or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a 2D Mario being announced tomorrow. I know that's been a question a lot of people have been asking. I don't see that being announced tomorrow. We got Mario Tennis Aces coming out. We haven't covered Mario. I'm sure there will be some kind of Mario. I really haven't made up my mind. Outside of Mario Maker, I can't really see anything else unless they want to make a third entry into the 3D Land slash World series.
Maybe. Um,
I feel like it's too soon though. Because
no.
Nintendo classifies that as a 3D Mario game, and we just got a 3D Mario game like 8 months ago.
True, true.
If they put out anything Mario related, it'll be something in the lines of a party game or
I could see
a.
them announcing Mario Party Switch. Actually, I think I'm gonna put that in under my predictions as a Mario Party Switch title.
Now here's the
That
real
will.
question. The real question that all of the kids are going to ask: is it going to be in the stupid car, or is it going to be going back to what Mario Party is, or will they try something new altogether?
I I hope that it goes back to traditional Mario Party.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually gonna predict that they are going to do a Star Rush style game on the Switch.
I actually heard from a couple people that was pretty good. I haven't bought that game though.
I've heard that it was actually fairly decent. Haven't played it myself either, but that's what I think they're going to do. I think they're gonna, whether it's a port of the 3DS version, which I kind of doubt, considering they're still writing the 3DS.
Yeah,
Uh, so I'd imagine like a new game in the same style with new types of boards and whatnot,
I could see that.
with everybody taking their turns at the same time, and stuff happens if you run into each other and all that jazz. Just give it like more Mario characters and different mini games,
Yeah,
and yeah,
I can also see DLC being announced for Mario Kart Ace or Mario Kart Aces, Mario Tennis Aces. I could see them like, okay, here's Pauline.
you think they're gonna announce Mario Tennis DLC before the games even out?
Possibly. I think it'll be characters. I don't think it'll be necessary.
Maybe.
I think they'll just announce new characters.
Yeah, probably.
I really want Pauline in
Anything.
there. I love Pauline.
Pauline, I could see that happening.
I think it's like kind of become her time. It's like Rosalina's kind of had her time now, and um, she'll still be in games and stuff. But
Hmm.
I feel like Pauline has become the new Rosalina. Like Rosalina was like the great Peach alternative for like 10 years, ever since she
Yeah,
debuted in Galaxy. But now like Mayor Pauline and Odyssey, just everybody seems to love her. Like she's the new Peach alternative for everyone now, and
yeah,
she's kind of finally having her moment in the sun. Despite the fact that she's been around longer than Peach.
right.
I could definitely see her. I could even see a possibility of, you know, maybe a Smash appearance.
Do you think she'll be a character?
I could see her being a trophy.
I could see her being an assist trophy.
Because really,
I
Rosalina, she's got magic powers and stuff. She made sense, but Pauline's
mhm.
just a mayor. She wears a business suit. I mean, what's she going to do? Smack you with a briefcase? Which would be kind of funny.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, I could see her being an assist trophy. Like,
Well,
she comes
you
in
know,
and, like,
I could see her like if she were a character. I could see her being kind of Rosalina esque. Not so much with the whole magic thing, but like in the sense that like you're mostly controlling her, but most of her moves involve having like one of her associates like come out and do attacks for her.
the creepy, real looking people from Odyssey.
Exactly, exactly. She just sends one of those forward,
Yeah,
and it can
that'd
like
be
soak
great.
up damage for her or attack you. But like, with very few exceptions, she wouldn't have any actual attacks herself.
Here's a good topic that I also wanted to cover, and we can easily segue since we mentioned this Pauline Smash thing. What about new characters for Smash?
Ooh,
Because I'm pretty sure, this is E3, this is a huge deal. We're going to see details on the game. They're going to announce games. I'm pretty
I,
sure we're at least going to see at least 2 or 3 new characters announced
oh
tomorrow.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
They
Um,
love to do this. This is like one of, I swear, like this is like Nintendo's bread and butter is when it comes to announcing new characters. It's like they
oh,
make a big fucking deal out of it.
Smash is always going to be like a huge thing.
Yeah, get that train
Like,
you all heard about 10 minutes ago. That was the hype train.
yep, yep. Oh, ah. I'm thinking it might. I know what I said earlier might make me think that I shouldn't want this, but I think it's finally time for Waluigi to come in as a playable character.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done that yet.
I don't know either. Actually, half the assist trophies, really, I'm kind of surprised that they're just like, really? You didn't just make them playable?
Yeah,
Give us Majora. Give us frickin' the. Uh, I'm drawing a blank on like any other assist trophies. Shadow the Hedgehog.
why not Tails?
Tails. Tails wasn't an assist trophy, but yeah, I would love to play as Tails.
Yeah, it'd be great to play as any of just about any of the main Sonic characters would be.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to go with one male and one female character, why not Amy Rose? I mean, she's got that hammer. There's a
Yeah,
lot of possibilities with her.
she would play very differently from Sonic if that's what they were worried about.
Yeah,
Like,
because
admittedly,
that would be
Knuckles
the
and
the
Tails.
problem with Knuckles is like he's just pretty much Sonic Red.
Yeah, I mean,
And Shadow's Sonic Black.
mm-hmm. I could see them making like Shadow into an alternate costume for Sonic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, give us like Sonic, Supersonic, Shadow, Metal Sonic, and Silver as like 5 optional costumes for Sonic.
That would be really cool.
I would love that. And then I can't think of any for Amy, but like Amy, you could have as her own separate character, and she would be very different and play nothing like Sonic at all.
Yeah, because like I said, she's got the big hammer, and she was always kind of a slower character anyway. She was never built around speed.
No,
There's a lot of possibility there. I think like out of all of the main Sonic characters, she probably her or Rouge the Bat probably have the most possibilities with them because they're so
I, I
different.
would I would sooner want to see Amy, but Rouge is a maybe.
Yeah, because she's kind of like she's a bat. She flies.
Hmm
She's got a gun. She's got
She never had
possibilities.
a gun. She works for a company named Gun.
I could have sworn she carried a gun like Shadow did.
Nope. Only Shadow ever actually wielded a firearm in that. Well, as far as like Sonic characters that anybody actually recognizes, only Shadow actually wielded a gun in that game.
Oh, okay.
So
I think you mentioned this briefly a bit ago. Link and Zelda in their Breath of the Wild costumes. I think that's probably a given.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be changing their movesets.
Zelda, I feel like Link's been fine. As far as a Smash character goes, but I feel like Zelda's needed an overhaul for at least 2 games now. So
You think so?
yeah, she's really needed it. Yeah, I've never really cared for her, and I
Zelda's never been
honestly,
like the best of characters. And with her new look, I feel like they could easily give her a wildly different moveset. Maybe even a Breath of the wildly different moveset.
I see what you did there. um, yeah, I think they'll get Mario with Cappy. There'll be some changes to some of the core people, and that's probably fine. Because you don't want every game to have the same crap.
Yeah,
Please, 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 Nintendo, give Ganondorf
a
new.
sword.
Give him a sword. Give him a trident. Just give him his own shit.
Yeah, don't make him Captain Falcon again.
Yeah, he's an amazing character. I love Ganondorf. He's one of my favorite video game villains. Please do better by him. He deserves better.
He does. Give him the Triforce of Power.
Yeah, do something. Like, I feel like his final smash, like he turns into a giant beast and like fucking just beats the shit out of you or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like gi-
Like have him
give
turn into
us
Big Blue Ganon from Link to the Past.
a better Ganondorf, basically.
Yeah, dude, just anything. Like I'll take anything at this point when it comes to him. I've been hollering for this for a long time now. It's
Hmm.
it's been like my biggest bitch because I love Ganondorf and I think he just deserves to have his own stuff. In fact, I would just get rid of anybody being a clone of someone. Just end that with this game.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I always felt like that was really lazy. It's like we want this character in our game, but we don't want to put the work into it. So let's give it someone
Yeah.
else's move set.
I mean, there are some characters where you can have them. I'm okay with some characters having similar move sets, as
Right.
long as they're different enough that you actually feel like there would be a reason to choose character A over character B. Like Mario and Luigi have two very similar move sets, especially in the original Smash Brothers. But even then, like the arcs of their fireballs and the like range of their attacks,
Yeah.
you there
Very
was a
different.
reason that you would want to choose Mario over Luigi or vice versa, depending on your playstyle.
You mentioned that you'd like to see Ganondorf have a sword. I'm actually going to differ with you in there. No more sword characters. There are enough. Give him his trident. For the
Trying
Ocarina
to
of
be
Time
nice.
trident is fine. Give him that. He doesn't need a sword. And for the love of God, no more Fire Emblem characters. There's like 87 of them now. And they
No
all
more
have
Sword
swords.
Fire Emblem characters, at least. They all play the same.
Yeah, they're
Like, I'm
yeah, at
okay
least
with
make them
you giving
different.
us a new Emblem character, but give us somebody with an axe. Give us somebody with a lance. Give us somebody.
Yeah.
I know Robin, or was it Robin? Yeah, Robin used magic as like his primary form of attack.
Yeah.
So which I would be all for, like kind of going with that idea. But like, give us instead of six Fire Emblem characters that all feel more or less the same, give us six Fire Emblem characters that actually feel like six different characters. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
need
That's always
Marth.
been my knock on the like I don't mind Fire Emblem characters being in the game, but it's just they're all really much the same.
Mhm. We don't need Marth and Marth with red hair and Girl Marth and Marth that can sometimes turn into a dragon. We don't need all that.
Yeah, it's just kind of silly.
At
So
least Ike played differently.
yeah, so I definitely think we'll get the champions in the Zelda characters
Do you
or the
think
champions
we'll get
outfits,
a
excuse
new
me.
Pokemon?
Huh?
Do you think we'll get a brand new Pokemon for this game, or do you
Yeah.
think we'll get a Pokemon from like Gen 8 or Gen 7? I mean, because a new Pokemon in to Smash is almost a given. Hello?
Hold on, I'm looking at something.
Okay.
Yeah, we really brought we got a game coming out pretty soon, and then we
Mhm.
got a main series game coming out next year. So yes,
Yeah.
I don't know who. I've always wanted like Hitmonlee to be a thing in Smash myself, and with those new Pokemon games that are coming out being Gen 1 related, I could see that happening.
I mean, Hitmonlee was never the most popular of Pokemon, but like, I wouldn't be completely disinterested. I could see them bringing back the Pokemon Trainer though
That I know a
from
lot of people that
overall.
really like that. A lot of people. He was a very popular character, if I remember correctly.
I think so. I don't think he was like the most popular in terms of competition, but I'm pretty sure he was like at least somewhat popular as a casual player or for a casual player. And I know I had a lot of fun playing as him, trying to balance out between three separate move sets at the
What
same time.
I could. What about? Okay, I'm actually trying to brainstorm a few things here, and I'm trying to spit it all out at once. What about could another Earthbound character be added? What was the girl's name? I forgot.
Kumatora from Mother 3?
Yeah, maybe
Or are you thinking
her.
of like Paula from
Paula was the
Mother,
one I
from
was
Earthbound?
thinking of, the little blonde girl.
Yeah, that was Paula.
Yeah, maybe she could get announced for Smash, maybe?
Maybe?
And maybe that could lead into their not going to happen Mother 3 announcement.
Yep, pretty much. They're gonna show off. They're gonna show off Lucas, and he's gonna be fighting against something. And rather than it being Mother 3, it's gonna be like, oh, by the way, we're confirming that Lucas is still gonna be in Smash 5. In Smash 5.
Yeah, I remember they kind of scared me with the last one. I didn't know if he was. I didn't think he was going to be in there, and then they announced him.
And then it came out as DLC, and
Yeah,
everybody rejoiced.
yeah, because
I feel like
I prefer him over Ness.
I feel like the only way they could justify adding a new Mother character would be if they were to announce a Mother 3 release.
Yeah, they could even
And
make a
watch it
gimmick out
be,
of it. We've got Mother 3 coming out, and now we have 3 characters in Smash from the Earthbound series.
I like where you're headed with this.
Yeah, they could definitely do a gimmick with it. It would be really cool.
Yeah. Or
Um,
like have like we have Ness and Lucas, and then just have Ninten from Mother 1, the main character from Mother 1 in
yeah.
there, and it's like, wait, where did you come from?
Yeah, I don't think any Mario characters will get added. I can't think of any at this point. I mean, we've had the Koopalings and Bowser Jr. and
Yeah. We've had all like the
Wario.
major characters.
The only one I
I
can
could
really
see
think of
them.
is Waluigi.
Yeah, Waluigi is all I can think of as far as like major characters. Do you think they'll start resorting to side characters? Because I think they've introduced a new Mario character in some capacity in every Smash Brothers game. Because in Smash 1, they introduced, well, Mario and
I'd
Luigi.
tell you would be kind of cool. Would be like maybe a Hammer Brother or something.
That'd be nice.
Maybe do
Chain
something.
Chomp. They're
Oh
gonna put
yeah,
Chain Chomp in Smash 5.
I'll never say no to Chain Chomps. I love Chain Chomps.
I love Chain Chomp. They're like, in all honesty, they were like one of the first big threatening enemies in a Mario game that I ever saw, because my first Mario game was Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah, Bomb
And
Bomb Battlefield.
I ran past those Goombas and like their weak sauce weaklings, just jump on them, and then you see this big, massive black ball, and I'm just like, oh god, what the fuck is that? I'm a little 6-year-old kid.
And
I don't know
before
what the heck.
Nintendo introduces the T-Rex from Odyssey as playable character for Smash. He would be a
Oh
cool
yeah,
assist trophy though.
right? Oh my goodness. I can just imagine like a Mario Odyssey based stage, and like you go to all the different kingdoms, and when you get to I believe that was the Cascade Kingdom,
Yes.
just like one of the hazards is like as a boss type thing is the giant T-Rex
Yeah.
just running around the stage like eating everybody.
Yeah, that would be really freaking awesome.
Bounces on a trampoline and warps right into the boss fight. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, that was a different game. No, that
Uh,
was Odyssey. Never mind.
okay, here's I know a lot of people will probably ask us this in the chat if we don't bring it up. Ridley for Smash? Yes or no?
I would love it. I honestly feel like Nintendo almost feels like it's too much of a meme to not put Ridley in Smash. Like they're just gonna keep doing the meme of like no, he's too big. He's too big. He's too big.
I've always
They're just
said
gonna
you could go with the original Ridley from Metroid 1.
you could, and I don't know. Did you ever finish Samus Returns?
Yes.
So like at the very end of that game, you have to fight Ridley, and I haven't actually like fought him myself, but from what I've heard, he's a tad smaller than he has been in recent Metroid titles.
Yeah, he wasn't like a huge. He was kind of like he was like Super Metroid size.
So maybe question mark?
Anything's possible.
They're gonna announce the baby Ridley from Metroid Other M as a playable character,
That's funny.
and he's gonna be the only way that you can play as Ridley.
Oh dear God. Uh,
Yeah, I can just already see the fans getting mad at that.
oh man, yeah, the other M haters will come out in full force. I don't see it happening either. I don't think they're really. I don't even think it's a meme thing with them. I actually believe what he says when he says that. I think like it would just be really awkward to have a character that size unless they shrunk him down for the sake of him being in the game, which
Yeah,
is possible. I just don't see it happening. Yeah, I know a lot of people want Metroid to be more represented, and again, as a Metroid fan, I understand that.
yeah,
But Metroid isn't a series with a lot of characters.
it
It's not.
really isn't.
It's not. It's like you got Samus, you've got Mother Brain, and all those, and Kraid, and those aren't really characters. Those are really enemies, and they don't talk
Yeah,
or anything. They're just. I
no,
mean, maybe you could do something with a space pirate. There
maybe
are those characters in Metroid Prime 3.
true, true.
What were
The
they called?
the, I don't remember. I think they were just like the Federation.
Weren't they other bounty hunters? The ones with all
Yeah,
the
I think so.
abilities?
I think so. I think they were other bounty hunters that got infected with Phazon,
Yeah.
and you
Like
had to go and take them out.
like maybe you could put them in Smash, but I don't know if there's really this big movement to get them in there.
Yeah, wasn't there a didn't one of the Prime games have like PvP multiplayer with like different characters that you could
I don't
like fight?
recall.
What's that?
I don't recall. I only ever played like the main like story of those games.
There. Could have
And
sworn one of them had like multiplayer that you could like fight against each other with
that
playing
might
as
have
the
been
different
in
characters.
Hunters.
What's that?
That might have been in Hunters.
Huh? Maybe.
Um,
That would explain why my memory would be so fuzzy.
you brought up that they brought in a new Mario character for Smash in each installment. I believe they've also done as such with Zelda. Um, what about a
Maybe.
new Zelda character? I'm still holding out for Impa.
Who did they bring in for Smash 4?
Sheik became her own character.
I guess.
I count it.
Yeah. And
She's
who
got her own move set, and she's completely different than Princess Zelda. So,
did they bring in anybody like new for Brawl?
was Ganondorf
'Cause
in the original?
Ganondorf was in Melee.
Um.
Ganondorf and Zelda were both in Melee, and
Oh yeah,
Zelda.
Toon Link.
Oh yeah, yeah, I guess. I just so closely associate him as being like basically a cut and paste of Young Link that I kind of forgot that he was still a separate character.
Yeah, yeah, he is definitely a different character. Just yeah,
Which is
I could
really
see there being some kind of new Zelda. I personally would want Impa myself.
Impa
Um,
would be nice.
Hyrule Warriors Impa would be awesome. She looks really freaking
Yeah,
cool. She looks like she's made for Smash. She's got that giant blade and stuff. It'd be
she
really cool.
kind of does. She looks like she could fit right into a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
Just like as a longer range melee or melee fighter.
Yeah.
I could see
If
it.
they pulled from Breath of the Wild, there's so many possibilities.
Oh God,
I
any of
mean,
the champions
any of the champions or their descendants.
or their kids, yeah.
If you're going to pick one, though, the one that looks like probably most ready for battle would probably be Urbosa.
I could see either Urbosa or Rivali as like for the champions themselves. They both look like they would be tough in a fight.
I think they'll end up being assist trophies, all four of them.
Yeah, that would kind of make sense.
That's
I could
what I think.
almost
I think that'll be their role in the game, and I think that makes more sense.
I could actually almost see them as as Champion Link's new Final Smash.
That would be neat.
I would love that. Make his Final Smash different from Toon Link or Young Link or whichever other form of Link they're going to be bringing in.
Yeah.
If they do change up Link's moveset as a Champion Link, do you think we'll have traditional Link as well, or do you think that'll be delegated to Toon Link or Young Link or whichever or whatever?
I could see them doing both, just to
You think they'll
appease
have
both crowds, because
just
there's a
just have
lot
three
of
different
people who
versions of
main
Link?
as Link.
What's that?
There's been a lot of people over the years who's mained as Link, so I could see them. I could see them both.
Yeah.
I mean, worst comes to worst, the champion's costume ends up being just a costume, a
Maybe.
skin. That's the worst case scenario, and it's still not a bad one.
No.
But I honestly do agree that Champion Link will be his own thing, and Champion Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird too because Ganondorf in this isn't a person in Breath of the Wild, so there wouldn't be really anything for him unless they decided to make the Calamity Ganon into either an assist or a boss or something like
I
that.
can see Calamity Ganon being a boss.
Yeah. Have him run around the screen charging at you or something, kind of like some other ones do.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
But as far as new characters go, I see Crash Bandicoot, I see Spyro, I see Solaire.
I could see at least one of those two. Or one of those, either Crash or Spyro.
I definitely see Crash or Spyro. I see both of them, honestly.
I would love to say both. Just something in my gut is saying that we'll see one or the other, but not both. Maybe have the other one come later down the line as DLC.
That's possible.
But do you anticipate any major surprise characters? Admittedly,
Yes.
we always get major surprise characters, but who do you think we could potentially see as a major surprise character?
Probably Crash.
You think Crash would be major enough of a surprise?
Yeah.
I mean, I figure everybody just is anticipating him enough that I don't think he would be that big of a shock. Like he would still
also
be
have
like
a feeling
oh my god,
that
he's actually.
I have a feeling that with them getting good third party support again, man, it's just so many possibilities.
There are so many.
Here's a question I want to bring up. What about Kingdom Hearts? Is it coming to the Switch or not?
No. Which really makes me sad. I would love to get it on Switch. I don't think it's gonna happen. And my best case scenario is that it's announced at a Nintendo Direct sometime
Like later.
early next year, not even this year, but early next year for a spring or summer 2019 release on Switch.
Possible. It's possible.
But I do not see them showing that off at E3. And to be honest, the pessimist side of me is saying that it's not coming to Switch at all.
Well, the reason I ask is because both Capcom and Square Enix have both went on record recently, within the last couple of months, to say that both of them have multiple titles coming to the Switch.
Oh yeah.
And it makes me wonder what's coming, and will any of these said titles be revealed within the next couple of days?
We already know, as far as Square goes, we already know about Octopath Traveler,
which looks really good. I think we'll see that. We'll see more of that, by the way.
Actually, slightly off topic. Bringing or thinking about Octopath Traveler, I could almost see an Octopath Traveler representative in Smash. I don't know who.
It's a possibility.
I don't know who, but I could see it happening.
It seems kind of obscure though. Like I don't know if they want to put obscure characters nobody knows in Smash.
I mean, they put Cloud in. I mean, who the heck is a Cloud?
I'm pretty sure a few people know who that is.
Yeah, Yeah, one or two. Like,
uh,
anywho, back on topic though. We already know about about Octopath Traveler.
yeah.
I am anticipating a third Bravely game. We had Bravely Default, Bravely Second. I could see a third game in that sort of vein.
Yeah.
Um, I can see Final Fantasy 16 being put on Switch.
Oh, yeah, I definitely can see that.
Whenever they finally say, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna announce Final Fantasy 16 now. Here you go." I can definitely see them putting that on Switch. Um,
I can even see, like, some of the older Final Fantasies being put into some kind of collection or something, too.
yeah, I would love to see that.
That'd be really
Like
cool.
Final Fantasy 1 through 6. I would for 1 through 6, I would probably spend like $60 on a collection of that many
Oh,
games.
yeah, it's like $10 per game of it. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
damn straight I would.
Yeah. I mean, like 2 and
6 is
3
my
weren't even
favorite.
2 and 3 weren't the best of Final Fantasy titles, but like I'd still spend $10 a piece on them.
Yeah, and 6 is my favorite, so I definitely would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing.
As
I
far
could
as
see them doing.
like non RPGs, I see them putting the new Tomb Raider. I see them putting that on Switch
That
eventually.
looks really good too. I was really impressed with that trailer yesterday.
Yeah, as well as the Nier. Excuse me, the
Bless you.
Nier Automata collection or definitive edition. I see them putting that on Switch as well.
I could see. I don't think this will be announced tomorrow. I feel like if this was announced, it would have just been announced yesterday when they revealed it. But I could see the new Doom game and the new Wolfenstein games eventually coming to Switch as well.
They weren't announced to be on Switch already.
If they were, I overlooked. I think Wolfenstein was.
Because like Bethesda is like really backing the Switch. Like it
Yeah.
would surprise me if neither of those was
If
coming
they
to Switch
didn't get
already.
announced yesterday, it will come to. I think they will definitely come to the Switch. What does Capcom have in store for the Switch? I'm thinking personally, maybe redoing the first three Castlevanias or something like that. Maybe
That's not Capcom. That is Konami.
Konami. I always confuse Konami and Capcom.
Admittedly, if Konami wanted to put a Castlevania game on Switch, be it a new title or a remake,
Yeah, I'd be down.
I'd be so down for
Just
that.
keep it 2D because all the 3D games are awful.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. But
It's one of the few series like back when everything was starting to get its like 3D version, like Zelda, Mario, and like Castlevania was the one that didn't translate as good as the others.
yeah,
It
yeah,
never worked as a 3D game. I know there's probably going to be a group of people who are going to be like, no, this game it's this and it's. I'm like, but the ones I've played have all been really bad.
yeah.
I really think that it just works better in a 2D environment. But
But
back to
Castlevania 6
Capcom.
so good.
Let's get back on the subject of Capcom.
Right,
Um,
Capcom.
yeah, what's in store for the Switch from Capcom?
This is going back into wishlist territory. I'm not anticipating this at all, but Capcom is going to announce that they're working on a new Zelda title.
Yeah, they've made some good ones.
They've made some of the best.
Now
They
here's the
made the
question.
Oracle.
Here's my question with that though. The people that worked on those Zelda games for Capcom, are they even still with the company?
That is a very good question, and I have no clue.
That team may very well be in other places now. I mean, that was the 90s.
True.
Late 90s, early 2000s, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's a possibility. They could be working. That ties back into your Oracle's predictions.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
We know Mega Man 11 is coming.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
We
And
recently. Go ahead.
Capcom has in Japan officially announced a seventh entry in the Ace Attorney franchise.
That
We
could very well get announced for U.S. release
we
tomorrow.
might, yeah, I could very easily see that being
Is that on
announced
the
here.
3DS or the Switch?
No, they've announced that they're making one for the Switch.
The Switch, okay.
The seventh entry is coming to Switch. I
Okay.
don't remember if they said 3DS and Switch or if they just said Switch, but at the very least, I know they said Switch.
Did we ever give our 3DS predictions? I felt like we kind of lost track of that.
We started to, and then I had brought the idea of remakes, and with the intention of
Okay, yeah,
talking
we did.
about GameCube remakes on the
Yeah.
3DS. And I think you and thought I was talking about Wii U ports on the Switch, and we kind of derailed into that.
Yeah, I could see, like, if they were going to do the Paper Mario remake, I could see that being on the 3DS.
Yeah, Paper Mario I could see them doing that on 3DS. I could see them redoing like Sunshine maybe on DS or 3DS.
Possible.
The wish list category, but Chibi Robo original remade on 3DS. That's
I don't
never
know.
gonna happen.
Nintendo might be apprehensive about Chibi Robo because I know Ziplash sold like really bad.
Well, yeah, because they haven't, done a game similar to the one that actually sold well. Sold well.
I don't know if
It's
it
the same
sold
thing that's
well.
going on with Paper Mario. Like, yeah, Color Splash was sold all right, but it didn't sell nearly as well as the ones on the GameCube. And so, then, like, Miyamoto especially is probably thinking, oh, people don't like Paper Mario as much. Well, yeah, because you're making games that are extremely different from the ones that actually sold well.
I really don't know what they have planned for the 3DS. I really don't have a full set prediction for it. I know that they still want to put games out for it at least into 2019, maybe
Mm-hmm.
beyond. I don't know what their ultimate,
I am
plan
hoping
is.
I am hoping that they do announce a re-release of Partners in Time, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time.
Yeah, it's really weird that they skipped to Bowser's Inside Story, which we may see
Yeah,
more about Bowser's Inside Story tomorrow too.
yeah, I could see them talking at least a little bit about that. I don't think we'll get more than maybe like 2 minutes. Oh! I cannot believe I forgot to mention this earlier for my wish list or for my predictions. The World Ends with You final remix. I am almost positive that we're going to hear more about that because again,
Yeah.
that's slated for release this year.
Oh yeah. I kind of forgot about that with all the other big stuff that's been going on.
Yeah, like that's been one of my most anticipated games ever since it was announced, and I completely forgot to mention it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll for sure see that. That's like a 90%er right there for me.
What were we talking about before we got back to the 3DS stuff? Capcom.
Yeah. What do they have coming?
I'm actually not entirely sure. I know that they have Mega Man 11, and that's about all I can think of off the top of my head.
They do so little these days.
I know they have Monster Hunter Double Cross is coming to Switch.
So we
Well, it's
probably just
coming
answered
to
our own
America.
question. It's gonna Mega Man 11, Monster Hunter, Double Cross, and what
Devil
was
May
the other-
Cry.
Yeah, Devil May
Do you see
Cry.
that coming to Switch?
I could see that.
Maybe.
I could see that. I could see that doing reasonably well on Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, I'd like to see. Moving away from the Capcom thing tomorrow, I want to see more on the Nintendo Online stuff. Now we know
Yeah.
some things.
I almost feel like they have to announce something like that.
I want to hear something about some form of a virtual console now. Like I'm tired of waiting about this. And it is 2018. PlayStation and Xbox, we both have the ability to play older games on their consoles, and not in some gimmicky way like that Mario Bros. Game that they have on there now. Like
Yeah.
you can straight up play like Knights of the Old Republic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo needs to get on the ball with this, and which is odd that they haven't because I feel like this has always been their strength. And I know they want to sell these classics, these little minis that they're putting out. They're going to
Yeah.
sell those regardless. They fly off the shelves. Having a virtual console is not going to hinder that.
No.
There needs to be some kind of virtual console. I don't know if it's going to get announced. I don't know what their plan is for this, but I want Virtual Console and I want GameCube games on it.
Yeah,
I,
I
I,
do too.
we were promised this when the Wii U came out.
And never happened.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, I tell you, and I really hope that they throw a bone to people who've done paid for games before, and because when the Wii and the Wii U was only like $1, you only had to pay $1 to transfer like a game over or something like that.
Hmm.
Like if you had it in your Wii console and you transferred it over to your Wii U, like the Wii U would read that you had it in your Wii, like your Wii channel or whatever it was called,
Hmm.
and it would only charge you $1 to like put it on the Wii U.
I feel like it was $2, but yeah, it was like really cheap to like if you already had it, you could just be like, oh yeah, you could just transfer it over.
Yeah, I think they should keep that because it wouldn't be fair to
Hmm.
spend $15 on Ocarina of Time for the like 87th time.
You know, people would still do it.
Yeah, people will still would, and that's probably why they'll do it. But
Hmm.
it does get old putting the same amount of money into games that we've done played 87,000 times.
Yeah.
I do want to see that. I want to know what the details are, and I'm pretty sure that's supposed to launch in September, so we'll probably hear something on that. If not tomorrow, then I could see them doing a direct in a couple months explaining how it's
Hmm.
going to work. But that's coming sooner rather than later. Um, there was something else I had there. I should have wrote this down. Um, there is that rumor.
Did you
Nintendo
die?
filed some trademarks recently. It's very possible that we could hear about the release of the Nintendo 64 Classic.
Yeah, I would be down for that.
Yeah,
I don't haven't actually purchased any of the classics, but I feel like if I was going to purchase one, it would probably be the N64 classic.
yeah.
I think it might depend on what games are on it, but I'd probably buy one.
Yeah, that'll be a different discussion for a different time. That's
Yeah,
completely
yeah, for sure, for sure.
because we could spend another hour and a half debating on what games should be on a N64 Classic, and we're kind of
Yes,
getting
we
up
could.
there in time now. I kind of want to wrap things up here in a few minutes.
Yeah,
So
for sure,
we've
for sure.
covered everything, from possible Zelda and Mario releases, Smash characters, Fire Emblem, Shin Megami Tensei, and a lot. But there's one thing we have not covered.
Nope.
One glaring omission here that we've overlooked through this whole thing. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I'm trying to think. It's not coming to me.
Think about the last Nintendo Direct. Something was announced that we have heard nothing about since.
I mean, there was Yoshi.
Yes. That was
I'm
before
drawing a
that.
blank.
That was announced like a year ago.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank as to what was. Oh, Pokemon. We
Yeah.
haven't we haven't apart from Smash earlier, we haven't touched Pokemon.
Now we got all the information and stuff on those spin-offs, but will we hear any information on the 2019 releases?
I think we will.
I think so too. I don't
I
think it'll be a bunch because they're going to be focusing on Smash and Metroid Prime. But I
hmm
think that they will give us a little bit. I think like make it like a teaser or something like that, something along those lines.
Yeah, like I don't think we'll even see like any of the new Pokemon designs.
No, no, that because when it comes to Pokemon, Nintendo's kind of weird. It's like they tend to give Pokemon like its own directs and stuff like that these days.
Yeah, they do.
So it'll be like somewhere around like February 2019, we'll get a Pokemon Direct that'll explain the whole thing.
We will get more information about Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu.
Oh yeah, that's I could foresee that being playable on the floor.
I I I don't know if it's just a rumor, but I think I heard somewhere that it will be.
I wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
It's just they seem that's coming out really soon too, isn't it?
yeah,
It's like what,
that's coming out. I
October?
believe. Did they actually give us a month? I think they said something like November.
October, no, it's sometime in the fall. I know that much. It was something like fall 2019, so that's not. I mean, it's June, so it's not that far off. Yeah, I could definitely see that being playable on the floor, and
November 16th. They have
no,
an exact date for us right
yeah,
now.
that it'll be featured in the treehouse.
Hmm.
But here's the thing I want people to remember, and it's a lesson that I feel like a lot of people forget every year. If it doesn't get announced during their Nintendo Direct tomorrow, don't fret, because they tend to announce like 3 or 4 games during the Treehouse event too.
They do.
It's something that they've continuously done over like the last 2 or 3 years. So
That
if
they have a habit of not just announcing things at the direct, but having gameplay of games that we didn't know existed, and then
yeah,
just, oh, by the way, here's footage of us playing this game
yeah, it's
for
like
like,
last year we watched the Direct and we're all like, oh man, that Mario Odyssey trailer was awesome, and holy shit, Metroid Prime 4, and we're all like on cloud nine, and then we go into the treehouse, and it's like, okay, we'll just chill out and watch them, show these games off and talk, and oh shit, there's Samus Returns. What the
yeah,
fuck?
they're just playing a Metroid game
It's like,
on their 3DS.
what
What?
the hell? It's like, is this like, what is this? It's like, so yeah, I'd like if you get through the direct and like, man, so there was no Zelda games announced. I'm depressed. Don't freak out because there's still a chance.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's
anyways,
still possible.
any closing thoughts? Any last minute predictions or thoughts or any last minute wish list items you want to throw in there?
Last minute wish list. There's no way it's gonna happen because Bethesda's already had their thing, but release Fallout 3 on Switch. Don't give us 4, give us 3.
Going all
Or
the
New
way
Vegas.
back.
Give us a good freaking Fallout game on Switch.
Just just want to say on a personal level, I'm going to have to get an Xbox One. I'm going to have to, or a PlayStation 4. I have waited my entire life to have a video game based in West Virginia. That wasn't some like, and it's not like some stupid hunting or fishing game or something dumb like that either.
Oh,
Like this is like like I was watching that trailer and I'm like, holy shit, that's the New River Gorge. That's Camden Park. There's the Capitol building. There's the old courthouse. And I'm
you
like,
actually knew where all of this was.
it's like I've stood in front or inside some of these buildings. I've been to Camden Park several times in my life. Like, this is like a dream come true. It's like, I have to get a new console now because I have to play this.
Yes,
This is cool
100%.
as hell. Yeah, so that's definitely on my itinerary to get that game, and I'm gonna have to start saving a little money,
Hmm.
because consoles aren't freaking cheap, man.
No,
But
they're
I
not.
really do want the new Fallout. They're yesterday's announcements. Nintendo's in a really good place, and they do
Yes,
this every year. Their company's doing really well, and I like how they schedule their E3. They always seem to go last.
they do.
And that's really smart if you think about it, because they can sit back and see, okay, here's what Sony's doing, here's what Microsoft is doing. Now we can adjust. Like if they come in like thinking, okay, we'll just, because they could easily just give us a bunch of Smash information,
Oh
and the
yeah.
Nintendo fan base will be a okay. Just give us Smash and Metroid news, and we're okay. But the, you know, that's not all we're getting. It's Nintendo. They're far removed. I remember the third year of the Wii. All we got was Animal Crossing for the Wii, Wii Sports Resort, and a party game. That was it.
Mm.
And they've learned their lesson a lot since those days.
Yeah, I would hope so.
You can't get, back in like 2008 or 9 or whatever that was, you could probably get away with that. But
Not anymore.
the E3 has become such a bigger thing since then. And it's like
Hmm.
if you don't come in E3 with some big fucking announcement, then you're going to get crapped on. Everything is about that instant reaction.
Hmm.
And Microsoft nailed it last night or yesterday.
Yeah.
They
So
nailed it. They had a really, really good string of announcements. They announced a ton of games. They announced the acquisitions of those studios. Ori and the Blind Forest sequel looks absolutely gorgeous. They
oh
nailed
yeah.
it. And then here in, just a few hours, we're going to be seeing Sony's press conference. And,
Hmm.
they will probably do a lot of the same. Sony always seems to have something big to announce for these things, whether it's gaming related or not. Well, it's
Hmm.
yet to see. You know how Sony is sometimes. They can be off the beaten path sometimes. But Nintendo always has this they can watch everybody else be like, okay, let's go ahead and just show this off too, since they announced this. They can adjust and and plan. Of course, their stuff is pre-recorded, but they can always add on to during the treehouse because that goes on for like 2 days. But I'm really anxious to see what Nintendo's playing this year. I think there's some hidden gem. They very well could announce something we didn't cover, and they probably will. We are
So
probably 0% wrong in everything we said.
you mean 100% wrong.
Yeah,
Zero
yeah,
percent wrong implies we're 100% right, which
that's true.
we are not.
Yeah, there's probably going to be no Mario Maker for the Switch. There's going to be no Donkey Kong Country Returns 3. They'll probably come out of left field with some brand new 2D Zelda we didn't mention and
Oh yeah, I
shake
can.
up the fucking, you know,
There's like they announced absolutely nothing at this E3. They're just like,
they could get
yeah,
away with
no,
that.
we thought we would be able to do good, but after watching Microsoft's conference, we just decided never mind. We'll wait until next year to announce this shit.
Dude, I think they could totally be a-okay with just giving us, okay, let's take a elongated look at Smash. Let's look at the new features. Let's look at the new stages. Let's announce these new characters. And let's take a look at Metroid Prime 4. They could totally get away with that, and I think the Nintendo fan base would be okay.
I mean, a couple of years ago, isn't that exactly what they did with
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild?
The whole direct was Breath of the Wild. I think they might have announced a couple minor games.
Yeah,
And
I guess.
everybody was like, this is fine. This is what we wanted. This is what we need. And the build up for Metroid Prime 4 and Smash is a given. That build up for that's always a given.
Oh
But the
yeah,
build
yeah,
up for Metroid Prime 4 is years in the making.
yes.
They could totally pull a Breath of the Wild Nintendo Direct here and do that with these. And me personally, I
So,
think I'd be okay.
yeah.
Because we get Nintendo Directs like 4 times a year. And we had
Hmm.
one just a couple months ago.
We did.
I don't think they're going to do that tomorrow. I think stuff will get announced and revealed because that seems
I'm
to be the
pretty sure.
theme with the Switch now is just let's keep announcing games. Let's keep them interested. Let's keep pumping this out.
Yep.
So I think they learned a lot of lessons with the Wii U because there was, I can remember a couple Nintendo Directs and a couple E3s with the Wii U that were like, eh.
Yeah.
It's like, 87th Kirby game, Not knocking Kirby. I love. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention Kirby. Anything Kirby getting announced?
Probably the third. They'll probably officially announce the third Dream Friends for the second pack
Oh, I forgot about
for
that.
Star Allies.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, DLC for Star Allies. I
I don't
still need to
know.
pick that game up. That looks so good.
It's a lot of fun. Play it
I,
with play it with friends if you can. It's a much better experience.
yeah, I would probably invite one of my neighbors here is a really big Kirby fan. I would probably invite her over for some Kirby.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Much better experience if you can play with friends than if you're playing by yourself.
Okay, we got you. We kind of got your last thoughts there. My last thoughts here is I actually think there's going to be a lot tomorrow. I think they're going to announce a ton of stuff. I haven't heard anything like usually like we'll probably hear something this evening because usually like the evening before in a direct or something you'll hear about how long the runtime is and stuff like that. I suspect usually around 35, 45 minutes will probably be the amount of time we'll get. I would suspect
Probably.
because they're going to spend a lot of time talking about Smash and they're going to spend some time on Metroid too and
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, like the big that'll be the big three that we know of, and then they'll drop some kind of bomb on us on something. There'll be DLC, announcements for Odyssey, and as you just mentioned, Kirby.
Yeah.
The you know, and I think like when it comes to stuff like those Pokemon games and stuff, I see that being more like Treehouse,
Yeah.
discussion.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think it might get a mention in the direct, but the meat and potatoes of that will be in the treehouse. They won't spend too much time on it because we kind of know what we're getting there because they just had a whole like mini direct focused toward that just literally a few weeks ago. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good direct. I think they're going to just come out swinging. They're going to announce a bunch of games. I see a lot of
Mm.
third party stuff getting announced that we really didn't cover a lot of that because there's
No.
just so much of it. But I think we'll
That's
see.
one
I
of the
think we'll
things
get
I
some.
love.
Go ahead.
One of the things I love about Nintendo is that we just had a almost 2 hour conversation talking about as many different Nintendo properties as we could,
Yeah.
and there's still stuff that we have probably completely forgotten exists.
Yeah,
Not
like
because we
like
don't
we're going
like
to
them.
go into this tomorrow, and we're going to be watching this video, and we're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
We're gonna go in tomorrow and we're gonna be like, "What do you mean we didn't discuss anything Xenoblade
I
or
don't think
something
any.
along
Yeah,
those
yeah,
lines?"
so yeah, definitely. You don't know. You never know. And Nintendo, they just come out of left field with stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll never forget that Nintendo Direct where they announced Smash, Mario Kart 8, Yoshi's Woolly World, and like 5 or 6 other fucking awesome games in that one.
And just
Sometimes just Nintendo's just, and I kind of expect that to happen tomorrow. Like, maybe not on those lines of there being like 6 or 7 brand new AAA Nintendo titles, but I think they're going to announce a ton of stuff.
yeah,
It's going to be exciting for sure. But
I'm excited.
I do want to thank you today for coming in and having this near 2 hour conversation with me about Nintendo.
Absolutely.
This was a blast. We originally wanted to have a third person, but I got a message from a little bit ago. He overslept. He didn't bring it in. Maybe we can do a reaction video afterwards with him.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure you'll be up for it. I'll
Oh
get
yeah,
with
for sure.
him as
For
well and see
sure.
if he wants to jump in on that with us. Get the meme machine ready because God knows every three Nintendo's got some kind of meme for us.
Nintendo spits out more memes than any other company.
Yes, they're the king of memes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's wait and see what we've got as far as that goes. What's going to be this year's LOL moment? But anyways, thanks again, Matt, for coming
Before we
in.
go, I have one final question for you, Andrew.
What?
Is your body ready?
No, my body is
No.
Reggie. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Let us know in the comments some of your predictions, some of your wish list items. What do you want to see? What do you hope not to see? You know, we didn't talk about what not to see. I kind of wanted to keep this a little bit more positive conversation than knocking anything. But let us know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. And everybody, thanks again, and have a wonderful E3. Bye bye.